first thing everyone wants to know: why? Why does one of these jets cost 3 times more than an F-35, about $300 million each? Well, it all comes down to what you're actually getting. The NGAD isn't just a fighter jet, at least not in the way people usually think. It's more like a whole set of systems working together. Picture it as a flying aircraft carrier. The pilot's in charge, like a quarterback, but the real strength comes from the whole team backing him up. Frank Kendall, the Air Force Secretary, didn't sugarcoat it. It will be expensive because it will be the best. We're talking about tech and engines no one's even invented yet. Basically, it's the Ferrari of fighter jets. America won't churn out thousands, maybe 200, tops. These are for the best of the best, and they're built to dominate. Take a look at the shape. Every leak, every bit of concept art, they all show the same thing. NGAD has no tail. Vertical tails ruin stealth. For low-frequency radar, a tail fin is like holding up a giant mirror. Signals just bounce right back. So, no tail. That's how NGAD pulls off broadband stealth. It slips past not only fire control radar, but those big long-range search radars China depends on. But honestly, flying without a tail is a mess. The jet just isn't stable. It wants to flip over all the time. That's where AI steps in. The flight computer is constantly working, thousands of tiny tweaks every second, keeping the plane flying when physics says it shouldn't. It's a machine that shouldn't even get off the ground, but somehow it does. And that's why it's the stealthiest fighter ever built. For a century, squadrons ran the show in air combat. Now, with NGAD, everything's different. The new core group? The Wolf Pack. Enter the CCAs, Collaborative Combat Aircraft. Think robotic wingmen, powered by AI. They fly right alongside the human pilot, but they don't get tired, and they don't black out. It's a brutal idea, honestly. When a missile comes screaming in, the pilot's not the one in danger. The drone takes the hit. That's their job: shield the human at all costs. But that's not all they do. These drones can fight back. The NGAD pilot hangs back, staying quiet and hidden, while the drones charge ahead, light up their radars, and start the fight. And just like that, the pilot's whole role shifts. He's not there to dogfight anymore. Now, he's managing the battle from above, calling the shots, running the show. If you want to fight in the Pacific, especially against China, you're stuck with a tough problem. You need insane speed and long range, two things that usually don't get along. Right now, you have to pick. You can fly far on less fuel, like a passenger jet, or you can go all out and burn through gas like a maniac. You can't do both. But that's changing. Meet the NJP program and its adaptive cycle engine. Think of it as a gearbox, but for air. This engine can shift gears while flying. On the way to the fight, it opens up a third airflow stream. Suddenly, you're coasting along, saving fuel, almost like a commercial jet. But when it's time to throw down, the engine slams those vents shut and turns into a supersonic monster. That's how the NGAD gets about 30% more range than the F-22. But there's something else these adaptive engines are up to, a kind of hidden trick. They crank out a ridiculous amount of electricity, way more than any jet has ever managed. So, what's going on here? Word is, NGAD might be the first fighter jet that actually packs a defensive laser. We're talking about a real, hard kill system, something that can shoot down incoming missiles. Think about it. Missiles? You run out. Flares? Same deal. But a laser? As long as the engine keeps humming, you've basically got endless shots. That's a shield no one's seen before. Of course, this all takes serious cooling power. That's why NGAD uses a special third stream of air, just to keep the electronics from frying themselves. In the end, you're not just looking at a fighter jet, you're looking at a flying power plant, a fortress built around raw energy. Is it really worth $300 million a pop? Some people say it'll blow up the budget, no question. But the Air Force? They see a whole different story. The NGAD isn't here to play fair. It's built to tip the scales, so if a fight breaks out in the Pacific, it ends fast. Sure, China can mimic the look. Maybe they even snag the blueprints. But when it comes to the engine's metalwork and how the AI runs the show, they're stuck a decade behind. So, here's the bottom line. The F-22 used to rule the skies. Now, the NGAD? That's a whole new level. It's the god of war. Stick around with NHM Defense. We dig into what's next in warfare,